Good morning. It's another opportunity that we have today, whereby we have taken this opportunity to discuss something concerning the LGBTQ, and so that you can understand who are these people that are called LGBTQ, or what is this acronym that carries the title LGBTQ. For many years, LGBTQ or anything to do with issue concerning sexual orientation was considered to be abnormality. But in 1973, when the DSM-5 was revised, the idea of abnormality was dropped, and now LGBTQ is no longer decided or being said it is issue concerning about abnormality. So when you talk about LGBTQ, it is an acronym that is an umbrella that describes people's orientation, the detail of their gender, sexual orientations, and such things. And the acronym has its own meaning, and it stands for L. L stands for lesbian, whereby lesbian are dated with women who are sexually attracted to women, and sometimes they have sexual intimacy and relationship intimacy with the same gender, that is with women. They refer to have women as their friends and also to have intimacy with them. That's what we call lesbianism. Then from there we have gayism. Gayisms are men who are attracted sexually. They have sexual attraction and intimacy relationship with men and the same sex, and they are considered to be people who have this intimacy relationship with men. Then we also have bisexual. Bisexual are these people that they can either be male, have relationship with male and female at the same time. They are attracted to both gender. A person can be bisexual, maybe he's a married man, and still he have a relationship with a man of the same. And we talk about them as bisexual, meaning bi means two. They can have two orientation. They can have straight, that is now being heterosexual, and also at the same time being homosexual. Then we consider another, we call them transgender. Transgender are those people who contradict the gender they were given at birth, and sometimes maybe they were born girls. At the end of the day, they feel them deciding that we are no longer a girl, we are now a boy. So they contradict the gender that were given at birth. These are people that we call transgender. From there, we also have another we call intersex. Intersex are those people who their biological sex characteristics and hormones anatomy that do not typically definition to a male or female. They cannot be called male or female. They have the both sexual organs, but in most cases one of the sexual organ is dominant, but they cannot be described as male or female. They are the ones that we call intersex. Then we have asexual. Asexual are those people who feel little about their sexual emotions, and sometimes they don't have any feeling, sexual attraction to any sort of the gender. Then there are many, that's why they are called LGBTQ++. Plus means there are many. But as a counselor, the major issue here that we were to consider this particular session is that we help counselors deal with this group of people, the LGBTQ community. So when you are dealing with people who are gay and lesbian and intersex as a counselor, how are you going to deal with them? What is the perception that comes to you? Because most of the counselors, when they realize about the homosexual, they only refer, they only judge them, they curse them, they accuse them, and they don't love them. But the main issue here is, does these people have feelings? Do they have mental issues like any other person that you encounter in a community? Yes, they have such feelings. So when you are dealing with the counseling of these particular persons, it is very important to address the issue of stigma and discrimination. These people are being stigmatized and discriminated. They are not even taken, even fair opportunities when they come to hospital, when they go to seek services, even if it is services concerning their justice, they don't get it. Why? Because they are stigmatized. They are told that they are criminals, they are not good, and they end up not getting the right services that they deserve, even their mental health services and also other health services. Then there is also issue of support and identity affirmation. Trying to help this particular person to understand if he's a lesbian, let this particular person understand that she is a lady, she is a woman, and what does it purpose to be a woman. But as a counselor, it is not your responsibility to change them, but to give, to psychoeducate them is very important, so that to understand more about their identity. What do they understand about their identity? Their identity is very important, and to affirm their identity. Then be aware of mental health risks related to minority stress, e.g. depression and anxiety. Try to check at this particular person. When you are trying to counsel this particular person, try to check due to stigmatization, due to discrimination, due to isolation, is this particular person having mental issues like depression, like anxiety, or any other mental issues. This is concerning about lesbianism. Then try to take them, try to consider them as human being. You remember or you understand when you are doing counseling, there is this aspect of empathy. Empathy is very important, should be there. Also, it is very important to be to regard this particular person unconditionally. That's what you call positive uh, positive conditioning, unconditional positive regard, unconditional positive regard, so that this particular person feels that he's a human being, feel that there is a person who cares for him, feel that there is a person who is ready to take care of him. Still, we can also come to issue concerning the gazing. Especially these issues that we are talking about today, they are issues that they affect even in our schools, our learning institutions. Even if we hide ourselves from the reality about the gayism, lesbianism, and the whole acronym of LGBTQ, the issue is it is within our community and it is there. So it is high time now to come out, speak about it, and try to discuss it and understand the aspect of these people, so that we can learn to train them, learn to teach them, learn to love them, so that they can come out and try to express themselves and see at what extent we as counselors we can help them. When you're trying to counsel this particular person, that is gayism, they are supposed to provide safe and judgmental space. Number one, as a counselor, try to give safe and non-judgmental space, whereby this particular person feels free that he is not judged, no one is condemning him, and he feels free so that he can express himself, he can talk about himself, he can talk about the issues that affect him, and most of likely, it is very important to get to the root cause of that particular behavior. Because being a gay, being a lesbian is just but a behavior. Being a bisexual is a behavior. And all sort of behavior, they are learned from somewhere. And behavior can be unlearned. So it is not a permanent thing, because there is no scientific evidence proving that being a gay or being a lesbian is supported biologically. There is no biological support about it. Then the other thing is explore the identity development stages. Talk about identity development. Try to see about this particular person. How did he grow? The milestones that he underwent during his developmental stages. So that to understand, maybe this particular person is fixed in one of the stages that are concerned with the development. So try to explore and see. This one now we are talking about getting to the root cause of the behavior. Then address internalized homophobia and present. Try to see, is there any issue concerning homophobia? This is the fear about human beings. Maybe this particular person fears men or fears women. That's why now he goes for being associating himself with the men, because there is an aspect of fear about men. So it is very important to get to the root cause of this particular aspect of life and behavior. Then there is this aspect of bisexual. When we're trying to deal with people who are bisexual, there are people who are having a relationship with what we call heterosexual. Heterosexual is having relationship from opposite sex, a male and a female. But we get bisexual is having relationship between a male and at the same time they having relationship with a female. So he is there in between. And when you're trying to cancel this particular person, use the correct, when trying to cancel this particular person, it is good to validate bisexual identity. Try to see, is this particular person trying to validate the bisexual identity? Try to understand how to address the myth, confusion, and proximity, proximity, whereby proximity is whereby issue concerning loose sex, having sex with everybody, and confusion. This particular person confused. Then try to address the myths about bisexual. Then recover the doubt of discrimination from heterosexual, gay, or this particular community. Try to understand, is this particular person having an issue with issues that are pertaining relationship? Is there a problem within the relationship of this particular person with the other sex genders, or is there any problem that needs to be addressed concerning this particular gender? Then we have transgender. Transgender are persons whose gender identity differs from the assigned at birth. If somebody was given a gender of female, but as he grows up, he tries now to change from that to the opposite gender. Then, to try to cancel this particular person, it is very important to understand, use the correct pronouns and names. Make sure you understand this particular person, use the name that he prefers. He himself or herself is preferring to be addressed using. Then, support during gender transition. Trying to support this particular person. You want to transit from that particular gender, support the transition. Address the gender dysphoria where present. Dysphoria is a sort of disorder whereby a person does not try to understand himself or does not love the gender he was given. Then try to understand the legal and the social challenges. What is this particular person challenges that is going through? Maybe you want to change from one gender to another. What are the legal challenges? What are the issues that try to hinder him from trying to change and getting into the correct aspect of the life? Then we also have another group of community or another group of people, and we call them intersex. Intersex are persons, a person is born with biological sex characteristics, anatomy that do not fit typically or definition of a male or female. You cannot define him as a male or a female. Sometimes back they were called hermaphrodites, that they have both sexual organs, and they need to be considered when you are dealing with this particular community. Then, but to cancel these particular people, address the medical trauma and secrecy. This particular person sometimes they undergo many medical checkups, trying to understand, is this person female or male? And so they undergo trauma because all the time they want to check their sex organs, and sometimes they need a lot of privacy. So try to address that. Then promote body anatomy. Try to understand the anatomy of this particular person so that this particular person may embrace the one that is dominant, so that he can understand and know where he belongs. Then support identity development. Does he want to understand or to develop his identity so that this particular person may understand where he is going and where he is coming from? As counselors, we should embrace this particular community because it is not all of them that we can term as they are not, maybe because of our religion setups, because of our community norms and such things. We end up discriminating these people, taking them away, and sometimes we even curse them. And sometimes we don't like even see them. Some counselors, they say, my values does not move together with this, because they are grounded in Christianity, or they are grounded in Muslim, they are grounded in Hinduism, and this particular person, even if they go against your norms or your religion, your religion beliefs, they are human beings and they need to be talked to, they need to be loved, and they need to be supported. Then we shall come to discuss more about the trauma related to these particular persons, because they are also affected by trauma. There are trauma that affect them because of being stigmatized, and sometimes being put aside, they find themselves isolated, and they get themselves as if they live their own world. That's why sometimes they even use their own flag that carries the colors of the rainbow. We shall discuss that, we shall look into that, so that counselor may get insight and understand this particular community. Till we meet that particular moment, we shall come to an end, but soon we are going to start about the stigmatization and how we can deal with the stigma among this particular community. Thank you.